hours, and I'm the Latino conservative. I say Iowa because I'm in Iowa this week. For the rest of the week, I will be here, and I'll leave back home for Monday. And next week, I will be in California. That's right, the Latino conservative going to California. That's going to be fun. But also kind of wanted to give everybody a pre-apology, if you want to call it, early apology. I'm holding my microphone right now because my mic stand broke, and since I'm not at home, I don't want to buy a new one. I'm gonna buy a new one when I get home. I just don't feel like traveling and purchasing a new one to put it in my suitcase. So, if you travel a lot, you'll know what I mean by that. But either way, let's get started. But before we get into the good stuff, you know the drill. Go ahead and like, subscribe my channel, and sign up for alerts. My channel is a relatively small channel compared to some of these with millions of viewers. I've got 500, and I am grateful for every single one of those. I'd like to get to the 1,000 mark. That is my goal. My goal is to get to the 1,000 mark by the end of the year. That'll allow me to do live streaming from my mobile phone, and I'll be able to give you data and give you footage from wherever I am on a whim. My full-time job has me traveling all over the country, and I am coming to you every day, travel permitting. You know, that job pays the bills. This job doesn't yet, and I would like for it to. If it does, great, then I'll be able to go on all the time. But my full-time job pays the bills, so I do want to make sure that I get you what you need, though. So to help me out with that, go like, subscribe, sign up for alerts, share my videos, put a comment on there, debate with me on there, put a comment that tells me that you're actually listening. Don't just say something negative. I'll block you. But give me something to do. Give me and the other listeners, the other 500 of you that find this, give something to discuss, some engagement. That's what makes this a great thing. A great country is engagement. We can actually engage, and we've gotten away from that. Everybody is either you're right, I'm wrong, so I hate you, or you're right, I'm wrong. I'm just not going to listen to it. I'm going to do something totally different. We're not going to actually talk about it to fix it. I'm going to give you an idea of what you can do to change that. Here is one of my topics. So like, subscribe, share, sign up for alerts so you know anytime I come up. I've also put a link to my Cash App if you want to help support me in doing these. Feel free if you want to. You're not obligated at all. Nothing at all. But feel free to help out with the cause. So earlier this week, in fact, if you woke up Monday and you had stocks, your 401k maybe even, you might have seen them and they were through the roof. We got some great news from Pfizer. Pfizer gave an announcement that they had a vaccine ready that was 90% effective. Phenomenal numbers. Great, great numbers. I totally appreciate all the work that they did. Thank you, Project Warp Speed, given by President Trump. And I will say that, and I will stick to that. Thank you, Project Warp Speed. Right away, they tried to downplay that. They're saying that they didn't accept money. Pfizer on Monday said an early analysis of its trial suggested the vaccine was robustly effective in preventing the coronavirus. An announcement quickly followed by tweets several Trump administration officials taking credit for its development. For example, Vice President Mike Pence tweeted, "Thanks to the public-private partnership forged by President @real Donald Trump at Pfizer, announced its coronavirus vaccine trial effective, big capital letters, effective, preventing infection in 90% of its volunteers." Then Ivanka Trump tweeted out, "Thanks to the tireless work of Operation Warp Speed and the partnership it struck with Pfizer." And then the partnership. I'm pretty sure she knows about the partnerships that the president does. And the partnership it struck with Pfizer, HHS, the military in July to support distribution plus logistics. Pfizer can massively scale production and nationwide delivery of 100 plus million doses of the vaccine. That was from Ivanka Trump. So Ivanka did not accept federal money. Okay, I can get that. Something tells me, though, that Pfizer may not have to. They are one of the richest companies out there. They just won't tell you. In fact, the whole pharmaceutical industry is highly profitable, is highly fat pocketed. They one of the richest industries out there because they don't cure the disease. They treat the symptoms. You know, they don't get paid to actually cure. My opinion. I think if they were to actually cure, they'd run out of patients. Crickets, right? But Pfizer has tons of money. They've got all sorts of pharmaceutical brands out there, all sorts of medicine. So they didn't actually say, so they said that they didn't accept any part of Project Warp Speed. Another case of Orange Man bad. Orange Man is wrong. Urgh. But what they didn't tell you is that they had a pledge to make 100 million doses for 1.9 billion. So they had a pledge for 1.9 billion dollars, and it's still ineffective. It's still an effective pledge there. We will still buy 1.9 billion dollars of this vaccine. Crickets, right? They're not telling you that. They want to give. They don't want to give President Donald Trump any credit at all because far be it from anybody to say he did anything right, especially from the left. So something else that came up in the news that I just saw pop up: Iraq's pro-Tehran factions cheer news of Biden win. More shenanigans, maybe? Or maybe they're cheering because of the shenanigans. Iraqi factions supported by Tehran on Sunday cheered new projections of a Joe Biden win. While some officials and activists in Baghdad voiced concerns that a Biden presidency could embolden the group, some officials also fear Joe Biden would attempt to salvage relationships with Iran and revive the 2015 nuclear deal. Sound familiar already? We don't want Obama's policies to return to our country once again, said lawmaker Dafar Al-Ani, deputy head of Parliament's Foreign Relations Committee. Mohammed Moyi, spokesman of Katib, a hardline pro-line faction in Iraq, said it was time to move on. Trump's era was a very negative one, a period of demolition. We hope the new administration will resolve this by ending the crisis and withdrawing its troops, he told AFP. So you have two opposing views there. You've got one group that is saying, yes, go Biden. The other one says, no, because Donald Trump was already trying to get troops out of there. Joe Biden, we know that he likes war. He signed off on war many times. We want him to take his troops out of the country. But Muhammad also slammed Trump for committing the greatest crime in ordering the killing of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani. It's been a while. I still can't say that name right. But he was a top Iraqi commander, and top Iraqi commander Abu Mahdi al-Mandis. Several news outlets have called the race for Biden, but President Donald Trump, citing voter fraud, refuses to concede. Newsmax TV has yet to project a winner. Also, if you're following this on the various websites, if you go look at realclearpolitics.com, they actually rescinded the call of Pennsylvania. So according to them, there's still kind of a way to go for Donald Trump to win. I personally am not projecting that he would win. I would like for him to end up winning. I don't see it happen. I see that it could, but likely, no, not so much. I also think, well, it's a question I have on this is if voter fraud were to be discovered, and it will be discovered, there has been some, no doubt about it. How much voter fraud would be needed to sway the results. One case of voter fraud, 1,000 cases of voter fraud in one state, I don't know if that would constitute an announcement of a new winner of the 2020 presidential elections. I don't. That's where the Supreme Court would come in. I know without a doubt. You have all of these groups that had already pre-given the elections to Joe Biden, but he wasn't officially the winner. They're still counting votes, guys. Still counting votes. I don't think I've seen a single state out there that is 100% reporting. 95, I've seen a lot of 95s. 99, okay, so there could be a 1% deviation in the number of votes that they have in versus the number of registered voters or however they count that. Um, but, or even this way, the number of people that voted versus the number of people who didn't vote for a president. I know some people just, they're sick of it. They didn't want to have either one of those guys in office. And I can see why. Neither one of them is 100%, but who would you rather have? The nice guy trying to buy a car from you, but making you lose money? Or the jerk who's willing to give you more money? Or the jerk who's willing to pay full price for the car and you make more money? Who would you rather have? The guy that says, you work hard for your money, you keep your money. These other guys over here, they're not. If they don't want to work, if they can't work, sorry. Or would you rather have the guy that says, you work hard for your money, give me this much money so I can give it to these people over here that aren't working? It's one of those things, who's right, who's wrong. My conservative friends and myself, Donald Trump is the best president ever. He should be the winner. Not so conservative people, I don't even like the word liberal anymore, but more on the liberal side of it. I've got some of that too in me because I grew up in that kind of a family. I've got some of those values. Hey, you can't work, let me help you out. It takes a village to raise a person. It doesn't take an entire state, but a village. It doesn't take a whole country, just a village to help with a person. So who's right and who's wrong? We don't know. We don't know the answer to that. We just want to move on. I've told people this time and time again already. I don't care who the president is. I'm still going to do me. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to grind. I'm going to keep my job. I am going to do what I need to do to be a nice contributing member to society. I'm not going to leech off the government. And I would hope more people would see that way. So whenever whoever ends up taking office or retaking the office, we go to work. We govern ourselves. We go to work. I've got my own little government that encompasses my own being. I take care of myself. I take care of my kids. I take care of my ex-wife kind of too. She gets my child support payment, but they get what I give them because I give it to them. I could be one of these guys out here that says, I'm not going to work. I'm going to go to McDonald's, flip burgers, and you're going to get $25 a week from me. No, not me. I am one of these guys that says, okay, I'm making this much, so I need to give you this much now. I am one of these guys that says, I am making this much right now. This is not my limit. I can make more. I've got more in me. I've got a little bit more. And then I've got a little bit more after that. And then I can improve some more. I can improve some more after that. I'm not a stalemate guy. I go over here and my goal is to exceed and do the best to my abilities. So I govern myself no matter who is in office. And how I got way over there, I have no idea, but I think I saw a squirrel running around or something. But we're going to talk about snowflakes. No, I'm not calling you a snowflake. No. I know you're watching. but I'm not calling you a snowflake. What I am saying is change is a snowflake. Quite a few years ago, when I first got into the workforce, I should say once I got into the first real workforce, I had a couple little odd jobs here and there when I was 15, 16 years old. I clicked the buttons on a scoreboard, I swept a floor. Yeah, those are work, technically work, but I'm talking about going out at 8 o'clock in the morning and coming back at 8 o'clock at night and living off of what I produced specifically. I was a door-to-door vacuum salesman. And let me tell you, that job itself taught me so much. That was even before I started teaching high school drumline. That's how long ago it was. But that job has taught me some values, and it taught me things I needed to know to go move, progress through each and every job, no matter what job it was, whether it was a commission-based sales job or a salary job that I got paid $34,000 a year. It taught me the values to excel in that job and not accept that. Not accept basic, because I'm not basic. Some of you may think I am, but I'm not basic. What it taught me was hard work, and you are worth what you put out. I sold vacuum cleaners. Our company name, the corporation was Rhino International. It was Kirby Vacuums, to be specific. Great machines, but Kirby Vacuum. Their little mascot person, the Rhino, they said they chose him to be the mascot and to be the name of the company because a rhino will go down and put his head down and charge and take out everything in its path. Back then I was like, yeah, rhino, rhino, good, I'm going to get it. That was me. I was a rhino. Great. Took that same philosophy to the drumline. We had a good drumline. Took that same philosophy to the call centers. Nothing can stop me. Got into the car business back in 2007 or 8, something like that. It's been a while. That little didn't work anymore. I found myself going out and they call it burning ups. What an up is a person that comes into the lot unannounced. Just shows up and starts walking around and let me look at this car, how much for this car, how much for this car, how much for this car, where's my trade worth? Just someone that randomly shows up wanting information. Okay, I get that. Those customers are important. However, I am out there sitting either on the rail where the sidewalk, like the porch is, or I'm standing out there in the hot sun, middle of July, Texas, Houston, humidity. You get the point? I'm out there sitting there. Pretty soon, I lost a lot of weight. I went through a divorce during that time too. And I realized there's got to be a better way to this. Because I was burning through these customers, not getting any repeat customers. I had the mentality, I had the attitude, I had the drive to go out there and just rhino through them, put my head down and go get every one of them. But rhinos are scary, right? If you see a rhino, if you're out in the wild and you see a rhino, what are you going to do? You're going to go, you're going to leave. So that mentality worked for a little while. Then I started getting into the car business and realized, no, I don't want to be a rhino anymore. I'm going to be a snowflake. Bleep, 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 bleep. The one that just falls down. But that one snowflake, when it lands on the mountain, it can tumble a little bit and grab friends with another snowflake who they go, la, 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 we're going to tumble together. They're going to need a third one and a fourth one and a fifth one. Soon enough, they have a snowball. That snowflake has turned into a snowball. That snowball starts tumbling down the mountain, gets bigger, grabs more snowflakes and more snowballs all together. All of a sudden, what do they have? A freaking avalanche. That one snowflake that landed just exactly as planned, right on a little spot, is now this huge, raging avalanche that can take out entire forests. The concept of that is plan your change. Outside of the car business. Back to the car business. What that taught me in the car business was I need to look at what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to go out there and just go try to get every customer, but what if I get the customers to me? What if I plan out my day in a way so the customers know who I am before they come here? I'm going to plan my way, and once I started taking that mentality, planning what I was doing, goal setting, then it just opened up for me. Doors just wide open. I was never without, and to this day, if I were to lose this job, which I hope I don't, I like this job, I like traveling. I can go to any car dealership I want, and I'll have a job, and I'll be successful, and I won't have to work hard because I know how to plan. But to change, Oregon and other states for change, but and how does that affect change? The snowflake could be us, and it is us. If you want change to happen on the federal level, it's not going to go right away. You're not going to be able to go right straight up to your senators, to your congressmen and women, and just say, hey, I need this change to happen right now. I've tried that, and I got hey, are you a donor? Really? Do you live in my district? Well, you gotta live in your district, otherwise I wouldn't be mailing you. Now, next thing you know, I'm on email list, and all I got was fundraising emails. I'm like, come on, guys, really? You're supposed to be representing us. But for that change to happen on the federal level, I realized if I want that to happen, I might want to start locally. And when I say local, city council local, school board local, because you convince them that that proposal that you have is something that's important. The way you convince them to do that is you get you and other people with you that want to make this change. Gathering 30, 40, 50 people in one precinct in a city is a whole lot easier than getting 50, 60 million people on the federal level. Mind you, there's 330 people in the United States. I'm guessing to make some noise, you're going to need at least 1 million. That's going to cost money. It's going to cost money to reach out to 1 million people. You do 30, 40, 50 people, you can go to a city council meeting and meet all of those people. Get their names, get their phone numbers, start talking. Put up a flyer at the school and say, hey, this is something that I believe in. Join me here and let's have a meet and greet at the pizza place. You could do that. You can do that on the city level. Then you say, hey, city council person, this is important to us. Can you please look into this? We want this change made. City council gets voted in every 2 to 4 years, depending on your area. So much easier to get a city council person voted and voted off. When you're looking at the Congress level, you're looking at, I've seen districts with 100,000 votes. I've seen districts with 500,000 votes. I've seen districts with 20,000 votes. But it's over 20,000 at least, bare minimum, every time the Congress representative spends over $100,000 easy on a campaign. 30 people. Get them on board with you. Then you get that city council person, and if they don't do that, if it's something that the community totally believes in unanimously, or even majoritarily, even not even that, halfway through, That city council person, 1,000 votes. It's easy to reach 1,000 people. Heck, I've got videos with 10,000 views on it. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of those sites are open market. You can get your word out real quick to 1,000 people. Every town nowadays has their own township's Facebook group. The best of Victoria, Texas, Talk of Alvin, Houston, Houston area civic concerns, or whatever the group is called. Put that person on blast for not believing in you, and the word's going to get out. Now, I'm not going to say go out there and arbitrarily do it anytime you want. Be smart about it, be responsible about it. But if it's something you truly feel for, and if you make noise about it, it'll happen. If enough people get together with you, if it's something that's actually legit, it can happen. It can happen. But you get that city council person there. You can partake of that change in your own community. But let's say you drive from Alvin, Texas to Houston, Texas. Little 30, 45-minute drive. I do it all the time. That change hasn't taken place there, but it needs to happen. You see the fairness of what you're doing, and your city has reaped the benefits of that. Hey, city councilman, can you maybe try to take this to the state level? You got state legislature going on. It's going to start up again next month. We want to see this change statewide. What's going to happen there? That city council person, even though they're still just a person, they have just a little bit more say than you because they have that little title called public office. You get that city council, maybe even all 4 of your city council reps to take that proposal to the state legislator, and guess what? They're going to listen too. You've also got a state legislator in your area that you could reach out to as well. So you're making and gathering these snowflakes and turning it into a snowball at this point in time. You get enough areas with you, pretty soon that state is going to pass that into law. That's your snowball. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a movement. Texas passes the law. Louisiana looks over and says, hey, oh man, ooh, that's really good. We like that. Louisiana joins on. Oklahoma joins on. New Mexico goes on. We've got a federal, a national movement now. And eventually, enough states are going to notice this and take place where the U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Senate are going to take notice of this. The president is going to take notice of this. And if it's something that's constitutionally correct and can be implemented at the national level, guess what they're going to do? If enough people benefit from this and are good with this, they're going to put that into law as well. From one snowflake. Everybody can be a snowflake. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make a t-shirt. Snowflake. Once I get it done, I'll put the link in the description here. But everybody can be a snowflake. You know how? This thing right there, that thing right there. And as Trey, the producer, would say, always press record. Doesn't mean you got to go put your camera in somebody's face. Put your camera in your own face, like I'm doing right now. I'm trying to be your voice. I'm trying to be everybody's voice. Put that camera on. Trey, the producer, hope you're hearing me. Always press record. Hey guys, my name is Andrew Alvarez. Thanks again so much for listening to me and for taking the time out of your day to give me your ears, give me your eyes. Don't forget, go and share this content. I've started growing my content more on a day-to-day basis. I'm really trying my best to do that. The best way you can support me is to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. It's the best way you can do to help me out, because what that's going to do eventually is it's going to let me get enough viewers so YouTube will help monetize it, and that'll help support me, make sure my equipment is decent. I'm not asking for a lot, guys. If you want to go drop down $1 in the Cash App, I will gladly take $1 because that helps me make sure my equipment is up to date as well. After all, I'm holding the microphone because my mic stand broke. So, again, my name is Andrew Alvarez, guys. I love every one of y'all, and I'm the Latino conservative.